Poseidon is an asset manager, is focused on a diversified strategy covering a range of hemp and related products and company stages and industry subsectors across the capital spectrum. And with me is Zeta Ceti of Green Rush Revolution. And we've also got Morgan Paxhia of Poseidon Asset Management. To introduce yourself, you're also the co-founder and managing partner at Poseidon Investment Management and the co-founder of the ETF as well. PSDN is the ticker, I guess, for that. So let's just introduce yourself and the firm.
Great. Well, thank you for having me. I co-founded Poseidon with my sister back in 2014 with the sole focus of investing in the industry. And so we've been investing ever since then. We have several private funds and our ETF that we just launched last November, which is very exciting.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, you know, so you guys have been in the space for quite some time, you know, and with the new presidential change that they're talking about, Biden actually looking at changing this type of law. Tell us your thoughts on that.
It was historic, is really the simplest way to put it. Is, you know, we've been doing this, as I mentioned, since 2014, and to see an executive action happening for the first time, right? There's been, the industry's grown from $0 in legal sales to $26 billion this year alone without any federal action. So now to see the president actually coming forward and making a positive step forward with pardoning and with also asking to the health secretary and the attorney general to revisit the scheduling of it is absolutely historic, and we think is, you know, we've been building towards this for years and years, and so to see this finally happening, we feel like our work is finally starting to pay off. That's amazing.
That's amazing, and it's certainly a historical time at this moment right now, seeing that change and seeing how it's going to change policy and change people's lives too as well.
That's right. Absolutely. People that are being pardoned, their lives have been improved dramatically, obviously. I mean, this is what we're doing, is improving lives and also creating jobs and creating tax revenue. I mean, this is all coming together as a new economy in this country and worldwide.
Awesome.
Do you think this will make a difference in banking? That's really kind of the next big thing that needs to happen.
Yes. Yes. This was clarifying the social justice piece, opens the door for legislative action. Right. This has been a big piece that's held up banking activity in our industry, is clarifying social justice. We've removed that component, and now we feel, and we've seen subsequently, Booker and Schumer have been coming out and speaking positively about getting banking reform done, which most likely could happen in the lame duck session, meaning after the midterm elections but before year end. That's what we're keeping our eyes on.
And so, I mean, coming back to banking and looking at, you know, obviously federal policy change, I would imagine this is significantly going to affect your investment strategy with Poseidon. So can you tell us a little about what your thoughts are on that?
Yep. We've been going through a long period of tight capital markets. The rest of the world, I feel like, is starting to feel what tight capital markets feel like, but we've been living in this for a while. So from our perspective, it's really bifurcating the industry. We think the largest companies, the best capitalized companies, will make it through this, and we think new companies that will come in will be quick to grow. But we do think there is some risk in the middle part, and we're just being very mindful of that. But we think there's fantastic returns, whether you're looking on the largest companies side of things or on the smallest or the newest companies side of things, because it's just it's a new landscape. There's new total addressable markets being created, especially with this November election season, with the states that are voting to open up new adult use legal markets. So there's a lot of progress that'll be made, but given the duration, this is going to have some companies won't make it through it, which is, from our perspective, is very typical in an emerging market.
Right. And we mentioned the ETF that you've launched. So tell me a little bit about that and then where you think the industry is going.
Yep. So the ETF was launched last November, as you mentioned, ticker PSDN. It's a totally active strategy. We can use leverage. We can invest globally. But we're really focused on, as I keep mentioning, high quality companies with the most scale and with modest leverage. We're not over leveraged right now. It's intentionally keeping it more contained, but waiting to see something like this happen. Right now, seeing the federal action last week gives us more comfort in increasing the leverage of that strategy. So it's very focused right now on a core group of companies, and we look to expand that over time. But for now, we're just being very mindful. There's a lot of macro risks out there, and leverage is a very powerful tool, but it can also be used, you know, it can also be a detractor. So we're being mindful of risk.
Okay, very interesting. Thank you so much, Morgan.
Thank you.
Thank you.